All right. Hello, everyone. I think I'm live. Thank you all so much for being here. Let me know in the chat if you can see me, hear me good. I think we got all the tech issues sorted out, but it's good to know for sure. How's everyone doing? I know it's hard in this current energy, but make sure that you're acknowledging the big win that happened on Tuesday. Again, try to see it from that perspective and sit in that energy. I've been feeling great all week and empowered. All right. I think people can see me, hear me. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad that we connected today. I don't normally do 2 solo shows a week, but lots going on, lots to talk about. All right. So before we get started, and we've got a bunch of questions started already, and try to get some more questions out of the chat. I have a few things I want to read on. Just a couple things. If you could all do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, make sure that you're subscribed. After this video post, if you could leave me a comment, that would be great. YouTube's really been, my algorithms on YouTube's been really messed up. I've been getting about like half of my usual views, and also weird with YouTube unsubscribing people from the channel and that happening to multiple people and them reaching out and telling me. So just make sure that you're subscribed. Hitting that thumbs up helps to get this video out there, helps with the algorithms. If you want to be notified when I go live, please hit the bell. And make sure when you hit the bell that you're notified for all shows if that's how you want to be notified. And the comments help with the YouTube algorithms too after the video post. You can just say hey or thank you or whatever. But that would really help me continue to grow my channel. I'm hoping to get to 25,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So any help with that would be great. I believe Mel will be back next week, so we should do a show on my channel if he's feeling up to it. For my members, next Monday. What day is that? Is it the 11th? No, the 10th. Our next members live for my members is November 10th, next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do our Reiki and prayer circle. Always enjoy that. If anybody would like to become a member, the link is in the description box. Love to have you for that. Anything else big? I think I have like 2 or 3 openings for readings and Reiki sessions for the month of November. Not next week, but the following week. So if you're interested in that, go to my website, kevinlovingvibrations.com. You can schedule. I think I'll book those up here very soon. Besides that, I'm booking out into December. And just a couple things for classes if anybody's interested in that. I am teaching a Holy Fire Level 1 and 2 class in January. I'm actually teaching 2 classes. Dates are on my website. I have a Saturday and a Sunday class. And it's 2 days, so a couple weeks apart. If you're interested in learning Reiki, be a wonderful time to take a class with the new year and setting our intentions for the year and all of that. So if you have any questions or all the information is on the website. And then I'm also excited to be teaching my first master level, Holy Fire Master Level class, the weekend of Thanksgiving. So the 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's a 3-day class. I have 2 students signed up for it, so I'll definitely be doing it then. You do have to be a Reiki practitioner, a level 2 practitioner for at least 6 months and know the Reiki symbols. But if you have any questions about your readiness or any questions on the class, you can email me at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. It's in the description box, or I have a lot of the information on my class. All right. That's it for announcements. Well, I do have something to say, and if you saw my community board, you probably already know what I'm going to say, but give me just 1 second. Got a lot of people jumping in. All right, people can see and hear me good. Yeah, try to focus in on that hope and determination. And Um, this election a couple of days ago, sure, it was mostly in blue states, but you see how much the Democrats came out for? The guides were pretty right on Tuesday, weren't they? And even I was picking up some of the measures being like 2/3 for the Democrats and a third for the Republicans, and I'm pretty sure that's how Prop 50 was in California. Um, Democrats took a bunch of the delegate seats in Virginia in Republican districts that hadn't went blue in 40 years. It was a big shift. Again, that goes along with what I've been telling you for so long too. So try focusing in on that. Somebody says that they're constantly having to resubscribe to channels. Yeah, it's been really bad lately. Colleen says, anybody else feeling dizzy today, or is it just me? This full moon this week was pretty powerful, but we've had a lot of solar flares too. But I'm actually feeling like really energized. So, all right. So if you saw my post on my community board, I'm just going to bring this up. Well, for a couple reasons. So I had somebody leave me a comment last night on my last Reiki video saying that they were a Reiki practitioner, master teacher for Sui, Holy Fire, and Karuna, which I share the same, and saying that I wasn't following guidelines and that I didn't have the necessary education to be teaching it. I don't know where they got that from, if it was just something from the video that they misunderstood. Regardless, though, my thoughts are, if you had any questions rather than that you didn't know the answers to, rather than posting it publicly, send me an email, if you have any questions or if I wasn't clear on something. But I posted my Reiki certificates, which I don't think I've actually even shared on YouTube before. And I'm really proud of them. I've worked really hard to become a teacher, and this is really my calling and where I really get a lot of my purpose besides YouTube. And I don't have a personal problem, if somebody wants to attack me or, have negative comments. That comes with this territory. And, I'm very strong with setting those energetic boundaries so it doesn't affect me personally. So my reason for posting, proof that I had my certificates were more so just to show off. But then also, I take being a teacher really, there's a lot of, it's sacred. And it's a big responsibility to share this energy with others. And I really take that seriously. So, personal attacks, whatever, I'll just block you. But if you're going to try to professionally slander me, I have a big issue with that, just because I take this so seriously. So a lot of people were telling me just to block them and not let them get me down. And personally, I'm fine. But I think it's really important to set that boundary and to really stand in your inner power and authority, especially professionally, because I have students that I'm a mentor for the rest of their life, and new students that I'll be meeting. And I don't need anybody, questioning, whether I have the right credits to teach, So I was just being very transparent and sharing my pride for all my accomplishments with Reiki with that. But also, too, just setting that firm boundary that I don't tolerate, any professional slander against me. And my feeling is, too, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all. Again, I don't care for me. I don't take it personally. I just block people. But, I'm very protective of my subscribers and those that I have on this channel. And, I just don't tolerate that negativity. We can be kind. If you don't like somebody, you don't have to watch. If you have a different opinion, that's okay. We can respect each other. Just don't be rude. This is a safe space for everybody. So So, I know the energy is really heightened right now, and it's very easy to get into, that fearful state or that anger. But just because we're not feeling good doesn't mean we have to project that on others. Okay. Let's just be respectful of one another. My rant's over. But thank you all for all the kind words and the support. I really appreciate that. All right, you guys. Let's see what you're all saying. But yes, very proud of my Reiki certificates. You can see them on my community board if you're interested in that. Asui Master, Holy Fire Karuna Master, and Holy Fire Master for World Peace. So, and I have a bunch of my level 1 and 2 certificates in my studio. My studio's right between the French doors in there. I don't go in there too often because I don't have a lot of in-person sessions, but I don't have to let the haters in, and we don't have to allow all of the heaviness going on in the outside world to dim our vibration. We get to choose where we place our energy. And again, I would just, suggest and give you the guidance to maintain that high frequency. That's how we're going to make it through these hard times. And know that what's going on out there, even though there's a lot of suffering and it's hard for us all to deal with, we're not responsible for all of that. Everybody's on their own path and journey, and we're all at different levels, but we're powerful beings. We get to decide what energy and frequency we maintain and what we create. So let's focus our energy into the positive things that we want to create for the world, or rather than go to like the worst case scenario with even sometimes the questions. We don't have to focus in on that. Why put energy into something that we don't want to manifest? All right. I just felt very compelled to share that with you all. So my thing is the person was I don't know what their intentions were. If they just really misunderstood, I was feeling like it might be a bit of jealousy from my own success as a teacher. But regardless, like if anybody has any questions like that I don't think that a public space is a space to do that, to possibly affect me professionally. You all know, if you've been following me for a while, honesty and transparency and my ethics are really important, and I really pride myself on that. So anybody that wants to question that, you can kindly not watch, or again, email me if you have questions, but don't post that publicly. Yeah, and I could turn something that was negative into a positive, and like I said, have pride and show off my certificates and all the hard work that I've done. And, I was able to transmute that energy into something positive. So, all right, you guys. So let's get started. Enough about me. What all do you want to focus in on today? I have some personal questions that I have a bunch started already. But I want to check in on the Republican Party, because I told you Trump was going to be very irritated with the results. We've seen that, but I'm almost feeling like the Republicans, they see the writing on the wall. So how long are they going to continue to follow their king? At the end of the day, they have to be reelected, and Trump's not going to be president forever. So I want to see how Republicans in general are feeling. I'm feeling that they're very anxious and scared. And I see this continuing to cause separation within the party. But let's see what the cards have to say on that. I also want to take a look at, I brought this up. I don't see them doing this, but let's see what the cards have to say. But I felt like there was going to be more talk about Trump or Republicans in the Senate talking about getting rid of the filibuster. Let's just take a look at that. I did see that Nancy Pelosi is retiring. I haven't read on her in quite a while, but I think even before this last election, I felt like she was going to be in for one more term before she retired. So I'm not surprised that she's retiring. you know, I'm grateful for her leadership and what she's done for the party, but I'm, very much ready for some other people and her included to retire and, allow new leadership and allow the party to go in a bit of a different direction. But again, very thankful for everything that she's done for the party. And then I was also hearing about the Supreme Court if they were going to take that gay marriage case. I've been busy all afternoon, so I don't know if there's been any news on that. But those were just a couple of my ideas for things to read on. And so let's just read on how Republicans are feeling real quick. Oh, somebody asked too. I don't know if you probably can't see him. He's laying down. Finn. Somebody wanted to introduce Finn, my fur baby. Let's see. You can see him there. Hi. Can you say hi to everybody? My other two are just upstairs. They tend to sleep all day. He likes to keep me company down here sometimes. You might have seen him before. All right, go lay down. Be a good boy. Go in. All right. I have 3 dogs. They keep me busy. Oh, he's going to sleep under my desk. That's okay. All right, so let's do a little bit of a deep dive into the Republican Party. How are they feeling after this? Oh, interesting. Had a couple cards jump out. How are they feeling after these elections? These are not very good cards, I'll just say ahead of time. All right, and actually let me adjust that. Sorry, you guys. So some of them are feeling very conflicted. 2 of Swords comes out, and the World. These both flew out of the deck as I was shuffling. So I think a lot of them are seeing the writing on the walls that there needs to be a complete change. The World card's all about completion. So it can bring in a new cycle, but they're unsure yet how they're going to go forward. Now, we did have a bunch of other cards jump out with this. The Tower. All right. So it was a bit of a wake-up call for some of them. Implosion. The Tower brings in chaos and change. It's not comfortable. It's very unexpected. And it's very dramatic. But without the Tower crumbling, it's not built on a strong, solid foundation going forward. So it kind of, things have to crumble and fall so that they are going to have to rebuild. There's a lot of sadness and disappointment here. And I feel like some of them starting to be empowered and to fight back against Trump. I've been saying that for a while. And we've started to see it too in the Senate. But there's a lot of introspective work going within because I know the current way of their party is very restricted and trapped. So there's a lot of sadness, stress with these cards, a lot of mental and emotional conflict. Don't be surprised. We're going to see more and more of them start to split from Trump and not support him. All right. Yes, it's coming. Yes, and I was getting all that feminine energy, Empress, 3 of Cups energy on Tuesday when I was talking about the election, that feminine energy. And a lot of women coming out to vote. Some of these questions I don't get. I'm sorry, you guys. What else did I want to read on? Let's just take a look at the filibuster in the Senate. I talked about it on Tuesday, you guys, about my guides were telling me for November, keep an eye out for infrastructure issues and for transportation issues. I know a lot of people are traveling with the holidays, but just expect a lot of delays, unfortunately. I'm not saying it's not going to be safe to travel, although, you know, if it were me, I probably wouldn't be flying right now. That's just me, if I didn't have to. Again, I don't say these things on the channel to scare anybody or tell people what to do. You know, just to kind of prepare you and to let you know what's going on. All right. But will the Republicans get rid of the filibuster? I said it before, too. I do feel there's being a change in the filibuster eventually. I feel like that a lot of the Senate Republicans are like a hard no against changing it. They're afraid to stand up to Trump, but this is like the one mechanism that they have that doesn't give him total control. I'm not feeling them changing it right now. Let's see what the cards say. Yeah, they want to go in a different direction, you guys. This isn't going to be all of them, by the way. And this isn't something that all the Republicans decide overnight. Trump's no longer the leader. But a lot of them are questioning that and seeing that. And I feel like some of them just want some security and sanity in the party. You have some of them wanting to head in a different direction. And this is a collaborative effort. Some of them would think it'd be very foolish to change this or to go along with Trump on this. This Knight of Wands feels like opposition energy to me. I don't see it happening right now. They're very conflicted about this. Two of Swords, Hangman. It's delay. It's trying to come up with a different strategy, see it from a different perspective. And then the Chariot here too. So maybe eventually, you know, there's energy for that. Not right now with Trump in charge. Thank you, Becky. Yes, we were reading about the filibuster. I'm not seeing them overturning it right now. And also, too, I think, if anything, the election said that, you know, more than likely 2026 isn't going to be very good for Republicans. Do we want to put in that one check that can help against Democrats or not give them so much power too? They get rid of it. Do they honestly think Democrats are going to keep it in place? Yes, I don't see that. I'm going to do kind of go in between your questions and mine, you guys. All right. Sunny says, is Zohran Mandani safe? I like his energy. I know I've heard others that don't care for him. But I think he's a catalyst for change for even the Democrats. I was saying that on Tuesday. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a progression, but thank you for the super sticker, Teresa. And I think somebody else sent in a donation as well. SW sent a super sticker. Thank you so much. We'll take a look at Snap. Like I said, I do see it coming back. And I see the government reopening too. I'm sorry, the timing's always the hardest aspect to predict correctly. But I feel like both will definitely be back before the holidays. And I actually feel like we're not necessarily seeing it right now, but I do see a lot um, for the government shutdown. I see some bipartisan groups behind the scenes trying to work something through. So while we might not publicly be seeing progress on it, I do feel like privately there's been some progress on it, especially with the Republicans since the election, for some of them anyway. All right, but is Zohran Mamdani going to be safe? I think it's definitely, I feel like he's going to be safe, but it definitely is something that they're going to prioritize because I do feel like there's threats there. Ooh, Eight of Swords. There's some burdens here for him. But I feel like the intel is going to be very good on it to stop any potential attack. Justice, fairness. He fights for equality, fairness, justice. He inspires people. And he's a fighter. He'll fight back. Yeah, and very good, I think, too, with well, we know that he's unafraid to speak his truth and to stand up to even our own, the party and things that he sees as unjust, the direction that the party's going in. I do feel like it's not going to be the easiest with the safety. There are some heavy burdens here, and it is like there's a target on him. There may be an attempt, is what I'm picking up, because I do feel like there is something there that I kind of question his safety, but I do feel like the intelligence will be good to stop it, you guys. That's what I'm picking up. He's got to be careful, though, for sure. A lot of powerful people. Oh, the DOJ and Bondi go after everybody, Laura. It's not going to go anywhere. And we got a good show watching today, too. Oh, interesting. Somebody said Chuck Schumer just sent a proposal, but the GOP has to extend the ACA for a year. Okay, so like I said, that kind of goes along with some progress going on behind the scenes. I'm not saying that they're going to accept that proposal just yet. When I was talking to Ness a week ago, she was feeling like the middle of November, the government reopening, according to the astrology. And I was feeling like it could either happen this week or next week. So I do see them coming up with something. And even from the beginning, I felt like there was going to have to be compromise and bipartisanship to get this done. I don't see Democrats caving fully, Laura. There might be some. I do think some wanted to wait until after the elections, but like I said, I feel like there's going to have to be some kind of compromise there. The government will definitely be open before Thanksgiving, you guys. As unpopular as the voters, they spoke their truth on Tuesday. And I think Republicans know that they're getting the vast majority of the blame for this shutdown. Do you think they want to be the ones that, keep, the food stamps, people not being able to eat for Thanksgiving, or the federal workers that are laid off or not getting paid? Do you think that they want to be the ones to do that during the holiday season? They get it. Trust me, Becky, they get it. They're just afraid of Trump. But again, you watch. There'll be more and more people standing up against him. Rob says, do you see federal employees and contractors receiving back pay for the shutdown? Normally, contractors are not included, but I heard Schumer is trying. I definitely feel the federal employees getting back pay, Rob. To me, it feels like the contractors, too, that are working. The contractors get back pay. I'm hearing yes. Some people said snaps loaded on people's cards today. Again, I said I felt like when the whole thing happened, I felt like some people weren't going to be affected. It wasn't like all food stamps being down. I get celebration here, 3 of Cups. So that would be a yes. Acknowledgement for hard work. I'm feeling yes, both getting back paid, Rob. Oh, yeah. I've been saying this from the beginning. Becky says, when Trump's gone, the Republicans will be jumping off the ship so fast. Absolutely. I think you're going to see it beforehand. It's going to take the whole party down with them, though. The tower, that implosion that I've been talking about since I started my channel being there. I mean, just look at Trump. His health. We know that it's not very good. I've been talking about that, I feel like, every show for the last several months. Somebody said they think all of the blue states are giving SNAP. Yeah. All right. I don't see Zoran Mandami being a candidate in 2028. No. I'm not picking that up, Brian. Laura says, we all see Trump not finishing his term. Yes. And I think, remember, I felt a lot of significant stuff happening behind the scenes in the springtime, but I'm almost wondering if that was more so 2026, because I feel like this change period between Trump, him leaving, feels like it could happen any day now. So like fall of now into like early next year. And I'm not sure exactly how it happens. It feels like there's multiple things pressuring that change, the health being big. And you watch, if he does leave it, they will say it's because of a health issue. I feel like those around him know he's not well. So there's talks of the 25th Amendment, the Epstein stuff, that coming out, being very damaging to him. And I've always said, too, I feel like he does something so far that even Republicans can't get behind him and they push him out. My feeling was maybe it's trying to send military against protesters or voters. So kind of staging his own, another coup attempt there too. So I don't feel him in there for much longer. Okay. I know when's always the hard part though. A lot of people are worried about the midterms too, and I don't see him in there by the time midterms come up. Okay. Laura asks, so going on about him not finishing his term, do you see Vance actually stepping in? If yes, who would he pick as his VP? Would it be Hegseth or Miller type, or somebody to help calm things? It's funny. I know how things are supposed to go, but if I try to envision and see Vance as president, I'm not seeing it. Okay, maybe that's because I don't want to see it. But there's not a whole lot of energy around that. I've said if he gets in there, he won't be in there long either. I do think if he, and I don't even know if if I'm not saying it, I don't want to necessarily put too much energy into it. But I think he would try to. So I don't know who he would pick as VP, but if he were to get in there, he would try to rule the party like Trump does, and nobody has any respect for him, and they're not afraid of him. Um, Again, I see when Trump leaves, the whole party's crumbling. It's like anarchy within their party. Um, he would try to rule it strong, but like I said, nobody's going for that. Nobody's afraid of him. Again, I'm not necessarily seeing him as president, though. But he would try to intimidate and cause fear. I don't see anybody being afraid of him. He doesn't have that same power that Trump has. He might be very intelligent and very sneaky, but the party's going to implode and crash when he leaves. How does 45 think of MTG these days? Yeah, he's not very happy with her. I'm almost more interested in what MTG really thinks of 45. Again, I am not a fan of MTG. I'm not a fan of 45 either. That's what I was going to say. I'm not a fan of MTG. I do think it's very interesting, this whole shift in her. I never thought I'd see the day where she seemed somewhat rational. But I think that she knows that this can't last long. He's not going to be in there for the rest of his term. I think she sees the writing on the wall and wants to be one of the first people to move the party in a slightly different direction. I'll throw a couple cards on what 45 thinks of MTG, and then I'll throw how does she really feel about him? She wouldn't dare go against him publicly and call him out specifically. Yeah, I did hear that she was upset. He told her no, she couldn't run for the Senate. She sees the writing on the wall. And she hasn't had a big change of heart. I'll tell you that. She's not a very kind or caring person. She's all about MTG. We'll take a look at Johnson. I just read on that on Tuesday, Mary. What does 45 think of MTG? He's angry with her. The world. He's like, I'm done with this. We're ending our relationship. 3 of Wands waiting on. All he cares about is his own position of power. He doesn't care about anybody else. But the emotions are a little overflowing. He does feel a little bit betrayed and backstabbed. 7 of Swords here too. Doesn't like how she's calculating against him and his agenda. He feels betrayed, but it's all about him. It's not about actually caring about her. Narcissists don't care about anybody else. What's NTG think of 45 right now? Oh, I think all of the Republicans see. Well, I think we all can see the cognitive decline there, Rob. But obviously, I think the Republicans are a little bit closer. Of course, there's no investigation into those around him enabling him when he's not fit to be president, right? Like they were trying to say about Biden and how the news media has all been on about Biden's health, people writing books. Don't get that for Trump, right? Love the double standard there. Karen, I just read on the Supreme Court about the tariffs on Tuesday. If you guys didn't watch, please watch the show. Like I said, the counts and the algorithms have been way off, so I covered that on Tuesday. I don't want to cover the same topics 2 days later, you know? MTG, how's she feeling with Trump these days? Interesting, the same card came out, Seven of Swords. It's a thief in the night. She's only thinking about herself and her own strategy going forward. She feels restricted and anxious where Trump's taking the party. Knight of Swords, too. Well, this is interesting because I would say this is typical her energies. Very impulsive, kind of running to the attack before thinking things through. So there's a change in that strategy because she knows that that's not going to be positive for her. Queen of Swords, she's going to be more and more vocal against Trump in the party. Yeah. The party support is against her. She's, I think that she feels a little betrayed too by Trump in the party. She knows a lot of secrets, things going on behind the scenes. She sees the writing on the wall, you guys. Oh, interesting. Final outcome. She sees secrets here with the High Priestess, what they're doing behind the scenes. And she knows that if she's close to this, justice is coming for some of them. So she doesn't want to be anywhere near that. Again, it's very self-serving. I actually don't get, to me, I don't get that she's so, pissed off with Trump. Maybe her feelings were hurt. She wanted to run for the Senate, but no, this is all calculated in strategy for her. I don't see MTG as a senator, Nisi. No, absolutely not. Yeah, Carol says YouTube unsubscribed her. Yeah, I got people emailing me about it. That's why I said make sure that if you want to support me, I appreciate it if you double check. And again, help me with the YouTube algorithms because my views have been cut like in half the last couple shows. Just hit that thumbs up when this is over. Leave a comment. It really helps get this out there. I'd appreciate it, you guys. All right. Did I want to read on something else? I feel like I did. I wrote down Pelosi retiring. I don't think we have to read on that. I'm pretty sure I predicted that though, like a year and a half ago. And good for her, I want to take a look at the Supreme Court. Are they going to take the gay marriage case? Are they going to talk about overturning it? Was it that Kim Davis bringing up another case? They were talking about it today, if they were going to put it on the schedule or not. We'll take a look at Mike Johnson. I actually just read on him on Tuesday as well, Mary. There's some that want to take it on. They want to revisit this. My first thought was almost no. But let's just take a look. I don't think that there's any legal way that they can dissolve current marriages. I think what it would do eventually, if they were to take it, would be to leave it up to the states. But then you could go to a blue state and get married, and the red state would have to honor it. So it feels like it's a mess. But I do feel a few of them wanting to take this on. Like they want a bit of a redo. Take this off. Yeah, Kim Davis was appealing her loss in court. Okay, let's see if they take it. Interesting. Well, we all know that this is part of their agenda too. You have deals and connections, partnerships. It's not going to be an easy journey for them if they do take it. People will fight back. I almost feel like they don't want to take it because they know, I know most of them probably don't care about how unpopular they are, but they're afraid of people standing up and fighting back. I get a final outcome, no, death. Now that can be a change. I'm not feeling it though. Let me ask the pendulum. The pendulum was right on Tuesday, you guys. Somebody asked me about the Senate, or not Senate, a mayor race in Seattle, and I felt pulled to one of the names, and the pendulum said the other person, and the pendulum was right. So I don't like to use the pendulum. I like to use it more so to just check up on if what I'm picking up is right or not, or if I'm interpreting it right. All right. Will the Supreme Court take Kim Davis's appeal? I'm getting a no. I'm not feeling it. The death card is the final outcome. It's like they know that it would not be an easy journey for them, even though they'd made agreements in the past to revisit this. And they're afraid of people pushing back up against them. We'll see. Did anybody hear today if they were taking the case or not? Or would they announce that today? Somebody just announced full SNAP funding for November. I did see that the Supreme Court ruled trans people can be forced to put their gender at birth on their passports. It's just disgusting. But you know what? As hard as this is, you guys, again, this all needs to happen so that we can see where we're falling short, our Constitution, our freedoms, and so that we can make our democracy stronger afterwards. So just know that even though it's hard during this period, it's necessary for that positive change to come in going forward. Judges have ordered the administration to pay SNAP benefits. Yeah, I did see that. Let me know in the chat if that's like something that they said that they were going to release all the SNAP stuff. Again, I told you I didn't feel like it would be very long. I don't see Elise Stefanik being governor of New York. Absolutely not. Somebody says Trump's fighting it. It's hard to know what's actually going on in these shows. I can't check you guys. All right. I'm not seeing her being. And look what just happened on Tuesday, you guys. Blue states, I think states Kamala Harris won by 6 points. They probably were a little bit higher. But again, I have to be careful with what I say on YouTube. For entertainment purposes only. They were higher. But they won by like double digits. All right. Like I said, I think the Democrats, all of the delegates in Virginia took all of the competitive races and they flipped 6 or 7 solidly red seats. I mean, that was a huge shift. Not even just there. There were bigger elections in Mississippi and Georgia. Do we think, New York that's blue is going to turn red? And also, I think a lot of people view Stefanik as being very much connected with Trump and not in the MAGA movement. So I don't feel like she would be popular enough to get it. So Elise Stefanik's going to be elected governor. I'm feeling it going to a man. Not the governor's race. I think Hochul is running, but I feel like in the Republican primary, I feel like the winner is going to be a man. It won't even be her, because I'm getting King of Swords has the is the winner of that primary. Let me just ask: is Kathy Hochul going to win re-election? Feels like it's her. I often felt, what is his name? I can't stand the guy. Is it Lawler? Is he a congressperson in New York? I think he was thinking about running for the governor's race. Maybe it's him that gets the nomination. Is Kathy Hochul going to win re-election as governor? Get some funding. I think somebody might try to, there might be a primary here, though, because she's got a bit of a fight. She's working hard, getting good funds. I see her winning it. There's the support. Democrats, the support, her dreams and wishes being fulfilled. Queen of Cups. I don't know if I get Queen of Cups energy from her. Maybe a little bit. She comes through kind of strong, though, with her energy. Yeah, I almost feel Stefanik's being irrelevant here soon in politics. That's why Trump wouldn't move her to his administration, because he was afraid that her seat was going to go blue if he moved her. But, doesn't mean next election it doesn't go blue. All right, you guys. That was all my questions. Let's do a lightning round. See what comes through. All right. Thank you for the support. Could you look to see what might happen if Dems take the Senate but not the House? I'm not looking at hypotheticals and putting energy into that. I'm sorry. I would actually say, if you want my intuitive impression, I'm feeling very good about both, but I feel like Democrats taking the House, the Senate feels like I said, I'm feeling more and more hopeful with the candidates that are announcing in some of the red states. But I feel better about them taking the House too. Out of the two. Again, I'm feeling more hopeful for both, though. But I'm not putting energy into what ifs, because we don't want to manifest them taking back only one house. They're going to take back both. So sit in that energy. Somebody wants to know how Mandavi will do as New York mayor. I do think he's going to have some challenges with it. It's going to be very tough to go against the machine, is what I just heard. The ones in charge, the elites. I do feel like he'll be able to make some change, but I don't think he's going to be able to make all of the change that he ran on. So I do think some people might be upset about that. Like, you promised us this, you weren't able to get it all done. It does feel like there's some hardships there. The thing is that he's very charismatic and very likable too. So I think he'll be able to work through that. Yes. Sit in the energy you want to manifest. We can all shift our perception and our energy and keep our frequency high. It's not always easy, especially, a lot of you are empaths and sensitives, and so you feel all the turbulence around you. But we're powerful beings. We get to choose what frequency we allow in and which one that we resonate with. So try your best to focus in on the positive. Again, the things that you want to create, the things that you're in control of. Thank you, Artist Liz. Appreciate the super sticker. How's he going to do as mayor? He's a strong leader, though. I almost get with his charisma. It's not the same energy as Obama, but I get a very similar energy to Obama. A little bit younger too. He's got that fire. He's feeling very good right now, but he's going to be crossed by some challenges. Slow and steady progress is what I'm getting for him. But there are those that are trying to undercut him, trying to go against him, trying to destroy him. He's an excellent communicator. He's good right now, but I feel like into his terms, he's going to run into some big opposition and some issues, you guys. And as I read on earlier, I do feel like there'll be some security threats. They'll be avoided, but I get somebody wanting to go to war with him, being calculating and trying to plan secrets, or there's a secret agenda against him because of the money, because of the big money, you guys. That's going to be where he runs into some issues. Not him personally, but those are going to be the ones that cause issues for him. Somebody want me to check on Mike Johnson. I just read on him. If I can find the question now. I think, here. Somebody wanted to know, will he be voted out as Speaker once the House is back in session? Not right away. I read on this earlier this week. I felt a woman coming together trying to oust him. Now, somebody told me that they changed the rules, that they not just a single person can vote to oust him. But I feel like when I'm picking up MTG or a strong woman coming through, it feels like she gathers support in opposition. I was feeling like, and this kind of goes into the whole downfall of Trump too, like fall, winter, like this winter being really, really hard for him and the Republicans. I was feeling like he might leave January or February. It's not going to be easy for him once the government does reopen, though. I even feel Trump turning on him. Oh, that's interesting. He's feeling really tired and beat down, you guys. Even looking at him lately, doesn't he just look so defeated? I even think Trump's been on him, saying that he's not doing a good job. He's not marketing this. Somebody younger trying to somebody that's younger, that's wanting that leadership, trying to oust him. He's got a war on his hands. Enemies coming up against him. Again, the Chariot too. Somebody wants to go to battle. Wheel of Fortune is the final outcome. This too shall pass. It's a new cycle coming in for the House. It's interesting though too, because I get this. We have Page of Wands trying to out him, but then King of Wands bringing in success, and I don't get Wands energy from Johnson. I almost feel like that. I think Hakeem Jeffries might be a Leo. I know it wouldn't go to him next with them having the majority, but I don't know. It feels like there's another man, though, of like a fiery man coming up. I do see him leaving here soon. I don't feel like it's right when the government reopens, though, David. All right, I'm going to do one more question. You guys have been on for an hour, so you're all sweet. Thank you for all the love and compliments. Appreciate all of you. I've read on this before. I don't see Ramaswamy winning in Ohio. Not at least right now. I hope Tim Ryan will run. I feel a little bit better with him as a Democrat rather than, I think it's Amy Acton. Karen says, I love Tim Walz. I like Tim Walz too. He's running again for governor. The thing is I don't see him as president or working in the federal government, you guys. I don't see him running for president or being picked as a VP again or being in somebody's administration. I think he's a really good governor, and I think that's where his focus is right now. Yes, artist, I feel great today. Do I not look good? Yeah, I miss his energy too. Tim Walz brought that positive energy. Yeah, I saw Vance's half brother only got 22% of the votes in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is pretty blue, though, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty abysmal, right? Let's end with this because I do feel like this being a problem for November, but let's just see what the cards say. Linda wants to know, will the flight cancellations be resolved soon? I just heard no, I'm sorry. This feels like it's a little bit of a mess for a while. And I think it will affect both holidays too. So Thanksgiving, but I even think later into December and into New Year's. I'm not saying that all flights are going to be grounded, just expect massive delays. I'm almost feeling like it might not be resolved until like February or March. There's an issue here. Thank you, artists. I'm not feeling too tired. I did have 2 sessions today, so I'm feeling very empowered, though. I'll say that. Flight cancellations. It's going to be hard for a little while, you guys. I'm sorry to say. Especially for like the family get-togethers for the holidays. Because I'm getting Queen of Cups, which is like that nurturing, loving, motherly energy. 6 of Cups, which is connecting with the family, all of those special moments as family. And Mom's having a bit of a hard time, the Tower. There's going to be issues with it. It's going to take a while to resolve it. Well, and also, too, we've had all of the issues because of the air traffic controllers working nonstop and not having enough workers there. I actually feel like we're going to hear more information about like the safety. They might actually have to slow them down because it's not safe because there's not enough workers. More information coming out, people feeling defeated with it. It's going to take a while to clean up, you guys. I'm sorry. I would say if you're going to see family for the holidays, maybe it's not an option for everybody, but if it's close enough to drive, that feels like it's a better route. But I was picking up, I've been talking about ship issues. There's train issues, and a lot of you have sent me validations on the trains. A lot of stuff going on with trains, which I normally don't think about. But then all the plane issues too. Yeah, I'd be careful about taking trains too, Kathy. Don't take the train. The train came through so strong for me. It's important not to live in fear, you guys. Always follow your intuition and not live your life in fear. Just, again, we get to choose. How do we want to live our life? If something doesn't feel quite right, though, honor that. But don't stop fear from living your life. I would just be cautious, but again, tap into your intuition. Does it feel like the train is safe for you? Use your own discernment. I do see that there's some problems with trains. Usually they are a good alternative, though. Becky says, I'm supposed to try to go on Tuesday from Chicago to Denver. Again, don't live your life in fear. I'm just saying, expect that there might be some delays there, okay? But there's going to be some transportation issues, some infrastructure issues. Just go in expecting it to be delayed or that there's going to be issues. Again, it might be easier if you're able to drive. Again, that might not be the case for everybody. Yeah, maybe there's issues too because with the trains because all of the airline problems. Somebody says, speaking of trains, will we ever get high-speed cross-country trains like in Japan? It's going to be a while, but yeah, I do feel one going across, from coast to coast. I don't know what I'm kind of seeing like San Francisco to New York. I think they'll do smaller ones too. I feel like this is a good feels more like in the 2030s, like towards the end of the 2030s. So it's probably a good 10 to 12 years out. Yeah, we have Mercury retrograde also. And if you were watching me last week or trying to, you'll remember I had a lot of tech issues in that pre-shadow. So I think it starts Sunday, the 9th, if I'm remembering correctly. So expect delays, issues with communication, transportation, all of that. Yes, we do need a big overhaul in the rail structure in the U.S. Celtic Sea. I love it. Lourdes says I have to travel from California to Indiana tomorrow for work and be back Thursday. Yes, she is one of my students. We can send Reiki to situations. So send that Reiki for a safe trip. Ask for the most benevolent outcomes. If there's no delays, again, try to manifest what you want to create. I'm just telling you what I'm picking up to give you all warning, but don't go in. Well, I would say limit your expectations. It's probably a strong possibility that there might be a delay, but go in. There's not going to be a delay. It's going to be safe traveling. Go in positive. All right. All right, you guys. So I'm going to end up here. Again, for my members, Monday, we're going to do our prayer circle and Reiki healing group session. I'll probably be on earlier in the week for a solo show. Mel should be on next week if he's feeling up to it. Have a couple openings for November if you want a reading or a Reiki session with me, or I do a combination of both. I think I have 2 or 3 dates left open, so that will be booked up here soon. And if you'd like to take Holy Fire Master Level Reiki with me at the end of this month, you have to be level 2 practitioner for at least 6 months and know your level 2 symbols. But I'm for sure keeping the class in November. I have a couple students signed up. So I'd love to have you if it works for you. Maybe you decide you don't want to travel if you're a level 2 practitioner with everything going on. And that holiday weekend, I have that class. So just reach out, or if you have any questions, email me. January, I'm starting the new year with my beginner level class, level 1 and 2. So if you're interested in that, one of the classes is already halfway filled up. So I'm expecting that to be pretty busy classes. So if you're interested, sign up for that or message me. And I think that's about it. Again, you guys, thank you all so much for being here and for all of your support. Hit that thumbs up for me. It really helps. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment after this video posts. And, make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure that your subscription is still intact. And if you're new, I'd love to have your support. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button. It really helps. Help me get to 25,000 by the end of the year. Really appreciate it. I'm so close. I'm a little over 1,000 subscribers away from that goal. So any help to reach that, I'd greatly appreciate. Yes, Becky. Just leave a nice comment, please. Most of you are very sweet and supportive. But yes, say hi if you want to leave me a nice comment. I love it. You all hang in there. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all next week. Sending you all a lot of love and blessings. I'll see you soon. Take care. All right. Bye, everyone.